right, last but definitely not least here, we
I don't know
have
that.
Near. What wonderful series do you have to close out
Well, I mean, it's
our
not the
fall
least
2025
noteworthy.
reviews? Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you got the best series.
I don't know about that. Yeah. So I watched Towa no Yuugure, also known as
Yes.
Dusk Beyond the End of the World.
Mhm.
The PA Works original
Yes. So
of the
previously,
season.
before this, I believe they did one in summer of 2025, which is like a weird one where it's like what is it? Mikedo no Sanshimai wa Angai Choroi, also known as dealing with the Mikedo no sisters as a breeze or whatever it is. And then
Yeah.
before that, they did Food for the Soul, which I think I reviewed, right? I definitely reviewed this, right? Hibi meshi, hibi wa sugiredo meshi umashi, Food for the Soul, which was not good. I mean, the series was like okay, but it's like the character designs were very nondescript. But it was very boring overall. I think the food porn was food porn-ish, but the characters weren't very good. But they had some unfortunate stumbles before this, leading up to here. But now we have Towa no Yugure.
Yeah. So PA Works obviously is a studio that we have quite a bit of history with on the podcast. They've done some of the best series in anime and some of the worst as well.
Yes, sir.
So yeah. Again, it's a 12 episode, technically 13 because there's a episode 0 sort of special, which I have watched. I think there's with the episode 0 included. I think there's 11 episodes out now. I got up to, so I watched 7 was 6.5. I'll say I watched 6.5.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna put it straight up front. I fucking hate this show.
Are we cooked,
I
chat? Are we cooked?
really do not like this show.
Oh my god.
So I'll give a brief synopsis and then the general setup.
Uh-huh.
So it'll be, I guess, kind of easier to just kind of summarize episode 0, because that's like really where all the kind of
Is episode
setup
0 an
is.
hour or just 30
No,
minutes?
it's a 24-minute episode.
Lame.
Yeah, if it was an hour, I probably would have shot myself in the head. So episode 0 starts out in, I think it starts in the distant future of 2029, where our main character, Himegami Akira, has just lost his parents in a car crash, and he gets adopted into a family.
Hold on. How
No,
did
the
that
car
happen?
did not explode and
Oh.
sent him.
The car hit the Watanabe car and just like they both exploded in the air.
But he loses both his parents and then he gets adopted into this family.
Yeah.
And then it does like a time skip into like the 2030 something. I don't know. Both adults. And Akira has sort of developed feelings for his adoptive sister, Omagi Towasa. And basically the entirety of episode 0 is like a little bit of world building where they're like, yeah, the world is just like so advanced because AI is so awesome and cool. And we love AI, and AI has become so normal and so awesome and cool that it's able to, promote so much advancement. And also, Tawasa is a super genius, and she has like fucking multiple businesses or some shit, and she's pushing this research project to create androids, basically. And that's basically it for the world building there. And then the rest of the episode is kind of them falling in love and confessing their feelings to each other. and
You guys
going on a
aren't
date.
blood related, so
Yeah, and the AI, thank you, Grok. Like, you know, you guys aren't blood related, so you guys should just like fuck. You guys should just like fuck like crazy style. Um, so they're like, yes, thank you, Grok, thank you. And so they get
Oh my
they
God.
go out and they get engaged. Um, and then Tosa continues on with her android shit. And then she gets shot. She gets shot. Um,
Shot where? That's important.
in the stomach. She gets shot in the stomach.
You can live
Um,
that. So not shot in the face.
It's
Okay.
actually one
No.
of the worst places to get shot. You
Yeah,
actually
it's
You
not a
can
great.
can't live
survive.
that
It's not a
often.
great. It's not a great spot to get shot. But also, Akira gets shot 3 times, all in the chest.
See,
Um,
they can survive. He can survive that.
and that kind of comes out of nowhere. It kind of just like happens. And then the episode is like, yeah, he died, and now he woke up again, and now it's 200 years in the future, and the world has ended.
yeah, it
Um,
just like suddenly just becomes a Hitman episode at the or a level of Hitman at the end. And it's like pew, 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 and it's like what the what what
and people are dead, and he's dead, and now the world has ended. Um, and that's kind of like the hook, I guess. That's kind of what was
the
was
railroad.
the-
Yes.
yeah, supposed to like hook you, I guess, into the series and be like, wow, that's so interesting.
That's cinema,
Um,
baby.
but unfortunately, the entirety of episode 0 is like a very clunky kind of setup for not only the world but also the characters, because like um I don't know, it's hard to explain. It kind of just like doesn't work. Like the characters don't really feel like they're meshing at all. It's kind of just like, wow, I love you so much, and then the sister's like, I love you too. Let's get married now. And then they just it just happens. Um, it doesn't feel natural. It's kind of what I'm trying to say. Um, and then the hard like just veer into everybody's getting shot, and then he wakes up and now the world is ending. Um, and yeah, after that,
What about the android? Yeah.
yeah, so after that he wakes up and the world ends, and then he gets sort of um taken into this tribe, this tribal family, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And
Very
they're
Fallout.
yeah, so I got issues with that, but I'll get to that later. But he gets taken into this family, and then they kind of do some exposition, some lore. Um, and not much of it is too important, except for they introduce this new government, which is the government of the entire world. So
Oh,
countries,
okay.
so nations have been abolished. There's no more nations anymore.
Oh, it's like one of those like
Um,
standard United Nations kind of setup in like Japanese in anime, right?
yeah. So there are no more nations. Which I'm not really sure how that works, especially for stuff like Japan, which is like an isolated island. I don't understand how you don't have a nation state. Like how a nation state just doesn't form naturally, like just out of like just sheer culture, effectively, like a isolated whatever. Anyway, there's a world government now, and it's called OWOL, OWOL, and the main character Akira specifically notes that OWOL sounds like Orwell. Um, and it's a little reference for you, a little subtle reference for you, of what might be to come. And also the other lore drop it gives in terms of world building is that the institution and the sort of practice of marriage is completely foreign to people. They don't know what marriage is, and instead they practice this sort of
They just copulate?
um,
Well, what's happening
they
here?
practice this thing they call Elsie, and Elsie, which is spelled EHLSEA, is effectively a sort of
Okay.
it's how do I describe this? It's a sort of like bonding between a indeterminate amount of people.
It's an
And
orgy.
it's a sort of like it is effectively just a promise to be with each other forever, right? It's not like
Okay.
it's not a necessarily romantic or
Platonic.
um or platonic or even familial thing. It is kind of just a proclamation of a general love, right?
Okay.
And I think I'm pretty sure love is supposed to be like the main theme of this series.
Like
Um,
forms of love, you mean?
yeah, like the different forms of love and
Yeah,
how
yeah,
that
yeah.
manifests and how that is reciprocated and expressed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so this is kind of interesting, right? Because it establishes like within this that Elsie can be between any amount of people, right? There's a character that says, basically her immediate family is all within an Elsie, right? Like her father, her mother, her uncle, and I think I don't know if it's her aunt or whatever, but like their like family unit is an Elsie, right? Um,
Mhm.
but there can be Elsie that's a sort of romantic kind of thing between just two people, or it can be three people or more. It can be between a man and a woman, or it can be all women, or a man and a man, whatever. Right? It is a sort of very free form kind of thing, but it is like a recognized uh like practice within like the actual like the government. It's like officially recognizes basically. And it's an interesting, I guess, piece of world building, right, for a series that's kind of trying to.
Is this like explored any sort of further the implications of this like specific structure, or like for instance like marriage, right, actually has benefits in society. I mean, obviously drawbacks, but also benefits specifically in society, right? And there are like specific rituals all like related to marriage and like whatever stuff like that. Is other than this whole like other than the general talk of Akira being like, "Oh, this is different from previously," and also like a base description of like, "Yeah, we just say that we're connected with each other." Is there like a deeper, I want to say, world building of how the structure is?
No.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's my issue with it.
Okay.
Like LC is kind of established. I'm like, huh, that's kind of interesting, but that's kind of as far as it goes.
Civil union, but not as fun. Platonic love, but not as fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically. So that's really kind of like it for the world building.
Okay.
Obviously it's post-apocalypse. There was a war. Um, it's not really expanded upon. I'm sure it is later because this is a PA work series, so there's probably some retarded ass twist later on. But I'm gonna be honest, I couldn't stomach watching more of this. Um, but yeah, the story goes on, and essentially the government comes in and tries to kidnap Akira because he is a relic of the past, and the new government, OAL, is essentially a totalitarian, comically evil regime that limits the access of, um, old world anything, like literally anything, even like the concept of history is a like it is a restricted, like
Right.
privileged, like the masses are not allowed to know what happened before like the war, basically. Um, and so the government comes in, and they are comically evil, like literally cartoon villain evil. Like this guy comes in, he shoots some guy in the leg for literally no reason. He kidnaps a child along with Akira. And then when they get to like outside of the village, this like commander dude is like, okay, so kill the child and her father. And then after we're done with that, we're gonna kill everybody in the village, for literally no reason, other than it's fun, I guess. And then Akira's like, "What the fuck? This guy's fucking evil." It's like, yeah, that's true. And then right as the bad guy's about to do the bad thing, our deuteragonist Yuugure comes in, and she's an android, and she's like, "I'll save you, if you do one thing for me." And Akira's like, "Okay, yeah," um, and so she kills everybody, um, and
as you do.
yeah, she kills everybody with this big lightsaber, and it's really gory, like it's really bloody, and yeah, it's kind of a really weird like tonal whiplash.
PA Works has not done something. They didn't
I
do
mean, they
Grimgar, right?
did what was it,
They didn't
the
do
fairy tale one? I forget what it
Fairy
was
Gone.
called. Yeah,
Gone
Fairy
or
Gone,
something.
and they did
Oh, okay.
Sirius the Jaeger too, right?
Oh
They did
right,
as
seriously,
well.
Jaeger. Right. Yes.
Um,
Yes.
So they've done
You're
they've
right.
done gory action before, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, this was a very like tonal whiplash for me because it was like, obviously like the villains were like kind of bad, and there was a little bit of blood when he shot that guy, but it was like the fact that she's like zooming around, and she's doing these big like anime jumps, and she's got this laser
Yeah.
sword, and she's deflecting bullets and stuff, but she like cuts these dudes up, and they like literally explode into blood like fountain, and it's
Okay.
like, okay, that was fucking insane. Yeah, that
Suddenly Battle
happens.
Angel Alita. Suddenly.
Yeah, that happens, and it's this big action sequence, and the big, evil commander dude pulls out a fucking like Gatling gun, which is like, okay. And he tries to shoot her, and so she turns her arm into a rail gun,
Mm.
and she fucking nukes him and vaporizes a mountain.
What?
And it's all very like, what the fuck is happening? Um, kind of shit. I mean, it looks really nice. Don't get me wrong, but it's kind of like
Yeah.
it's kind of like this is not the series to be doing this. I feel.
I feel like with like the whole androids thing, especially. I mean, and a lot of anime series actually have been doing something similar to this, where it's like, um, these aren't like examples of necessarily good anime series, but something like Miru, right, which I reviewed, where it had like the time traveling robot or timeline traveling robot that like helped people, but they generally didn't use weapons or whatever it is. And then I think you reviewed the ID, like identity genetics, all that shit, right, like that, right, where it had like the different stories, right, um, of like the AI or whatever the
Yeah.
robot stuff, right? And it wasn't violent, it was just like different stories. Um I think that sort of structure would have been much more pertinent to this sort of series, right? Than suddenly Yuugure turns into, like fucking Battle Angelita and starts sniping everybody, right? Like whatever. So
Yeah. So I mean, I'll get to that, but so that happens, right?
Mhm.
And Akira's like, gee, thanks. And then she takes her hood off, and she looks exactly like Towa, right? Which
Mhm.
is his fiance or whatever, his sister slash fiance. Um, as you do, and then he's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Um, and then Yuugure is like, let's get married, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Sorry.
And then she's like, what the fuck? Um, and then it kind of just goes from there, where Yuugure is like, I want you to marry me, and he's like, no, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I have a fiance, and I'm gonna go look for her. And so
Mm.
it turns into kind of a wandering, um, journey kind of series from there, which is another strange, kind of tonal shift where it's like, yeah, this is like crazy action, and then now it's just like now it's just a wandering series, and then they go into mini arcs. And then after that, it's probably some of the worst dog shit I've ever watched.
So it's like some weird, like it ends up being this weird combination of like Urusei Yatsura and then like a Journey series, except like I guess Urusei Yatsura is also like the episodic like stuff happens and then they have to deal with it, but it's like more of a mini arc format, right? Instead of the episodic format, right? Um, and then they're also like going on a journey, but then are they like? Can I? Does the journey involve them learning about more different forms of love, or is it just like they're just going around the world and they're like, oh, this the
So,
apocalyptic world?
yeah, so like I said, how the general theme of this series is definitely like love and
Yes.
how it forms and how it's expressed. So I got through 2 of the mini arcs. Well,
Mhm.
I guess technically 3, but one of them is kind of just like meeting the third like party member, basically,
Okay.
of the trio, I guess, right? And so yeah, when they meet the party member, the third girl, what's her name, Amoru,
Mhm.
um, she she has also like lost her parents, because I guess her parents were like writers or something. They were authors, and they were making books that were effectively banned by the government. And so the government killed her parents, and now she's kind of like, wandering. And then in the course of the sort of arc that she's involved in, she ends up, taking a deal from the government to sort of trick Akira and Yuugure, is kind of falling into a trap under the presumption that she'd get some of her parents' belongings back. And then the government is like, "Lol, you believed us. We're gonna kill you now." Um, and so Akira ends up saving Amaru, because he's such a good guy, great guy. Um, and that's kind of it. And then Amaru is like, "I want to be in an LC with Akira and Yuugure." And Akira and Yuugure are like, "Hey, maybe." But Yuugure is like, "I want to marry Akira," and Akira is like, "I want to find my fiance." So there's like this weird, there's like this weird thing where nobody's reciprocating anybody's like affection in the main party.
Mhm.
And I guess like the idea is like as they travel together, they end up, um, finding some sort of bond, right?
The thing
Um,
is, it's like even that is okay, but the issue I have is like that needs to that needs to go either one way, one of two ways, right? One is like it needs to develop more into like, hey, these personal like feelings coming with these like different ideas of how they want to interact with each other, which is like essentially a weird love triangle. It's like they kind of resolve it to something, right? I feel this way. I'm this sort of person. You're this way. You're this sort of person, and it ends like with that sort of character development and growth, right? That, or it needs to build into like, hey, what is love? Like it needs to go back into the original theme, right? The bigger theme, right? And it
yeah.
needs to evolve from there. But it feels like it's not evolving very well, like pacing wise, right?
No,
is
not at all. So that's the first mini arc, right? And so the
uh-huh.
second mini arc, and was the one that was like, because I was like as I was watching this, I was kind of like not fucking with it, right? Like, but like I was kind of like, okay, maybe this could be something, right? Like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
could
yeah.
be something. Um, but the mini arc immediately afterwards, so they come into this town, and within this town, it's controlled by this sort of mafia family, right?
Mhm.
And the mafia family has kind of the backstory for the mafia family is there's uh this obviously like the big head honcho has had multiple children, right? And all of the children have kind of like assassinated each other basically in order to vie for um being the heir, right?
Right, the inheritance.
And so there's only 2 left now. Uh there's 2 left, and in order to get the seat, basically, the head of the family has been like, okay, you need to like get into an LC with at least somebody, right? Because the idea is like there's no future in the family if you can't even like form a bond with anybody, right?
Mhm.
And so as our protagonists are coming into this town slash city slash whatever settlement or whatever, um, there's some sort of festival going on, and it's effectively a mixer, right? And it's like a festival where you kind of just mingle and see if you can, find somebody to LC, right?
Mhm.
And so Akira hears this and he's like, "That's fucking stupid. Like, I don't care, right? Because obviously he's out to find his fiance, right? So he
Mhm.
doesn't give a fuck." Um, but Yuugure hears this and she's like, "Well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna see if I'm gonna prove to you basically, Akira, that like I only have eyes for you by going to this thing and showing that I don't, I can't like fall in love with anybody else." And
No,
Akira's
no.
like, "Okay, I
Does
don't
he
really
say,
care."
does he care?
Yeah, he's like, I don't really give a fuck. Um, but then he hears about like the mafia thing, and he's like, okay, maybe I should go and watch just to, like make sure she's safe or whatever. Even though he literally just watched her like mulch a fucking squad of trained soldiers. So I don't
Yeah,
really know
yeah,
why
yeah, yeah.
he's concerned at all. But he goes and he watches. And eventually, like one of the mob bosses ends up proposing to Yuugure, and he starts getting like jealous, basically.
Okay.
And the whole arc is like Yuugure is like, oh, he's getting jealous, so I'm gonna go on a date with this guy, so I can make him jealous, so that way he'll fall in love with me. And it's
Okay.
like, this is really tired already. I'm already tired of this.
Yeah.
But then as
I'm already
he's
tired hearing this, to be
yeah,
honest.
yeah, I was tired of watching it. But as he's at this festival, he ends up stumbling into the other mob, like boss, kid vying for the family, and she's a girl, right? So she proposes to him, um, and he's like, "What? No, I don't want to do that." Um, but then he talks to her for a bit, and then he realizes that person that she wants to actually marry slash LC slash whatever is her brother, who's also, who just proposed to Yuugure, right? And I hear this, and I'm like, you're not gonna do it. Like this series is actually going to do this, right? And sure enough, it does. And the whole arc, the whole mini arc here is getting the like literally getting an incestuous pairing together. Um, and it's not like a platonic kind of like thing that they're going for. Like they actively say they're like, oh well, in an LC between blood relatives, you're not allowed to have kids, but I want that. And it's like, well, like what are we doing? You know what I mean? It's just like why? Like why is this the first thing we're focusing on? Like this is the first story we're going for. Like outside of like as soon as we set off on the adventure, it's like we're just gonna have like blood relatives. Like we're gonna play matchmaker for that. Um
I also feel like the vibes are too heavily geared more towards like either shoujo magazine style romance or like rom-com, like shonen kind of seinen style, seinen magazine style, rom-com romance, and less like a more like thorough, nuanced, thoughtful depiction of like what different forms of love or affection could be, right? Where it's
yep.
more just like, oh, girl one comes in, oh, girl two comes in, oh, they have different personalities, and it's like, it's not really like that's not
Yeah.
the discussion.
So pretty much as soon as I saw this, I was like done. Like I was done.
You checked
But
out mentally.
I kept watching. I kept watching.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm gonna be reviewing this. I gotta watch at least a good chunk of it, right? But basically, I was kind of checked out at this point. And so that arc, kind of devolves into a bunch of retarded bullshit happening. There's another fight, where Yuugure fucking mulches a bunch of dudes, for no reason, and they get the siblings get together, and it's kind of just like gross, to be honest. Um, and then you know, um, yeah, that kind of resolves, and then they move on to the next town. Um, and then immediately after that, it's a mini arc where it's just multiple onsen episodes back to back. Um, and at this point, I was like, okay, this series is literally
So it's just
nothing. There's nothing.
It's a
Yeah, so
rom-com.
there's nothing in this series. There's no
Okay.
there's no like thematic actual like exploration.
I thought
of
something was gonna go
anything.
on, but
Yeah, like I thought there was going to be like anything like happening in this, but it's
Literally
literally
anything.
just okay. We're gonna make a rom com where there's a robot girl and there's a guy, and they just do fucking really generic tropey rom com bullshit. And yeah, at this point I was just like done.
Yeah.
I
At
was
that point, you were just like, please just give me plastic memories. Please just give me Koarakake no Orgel. Please just give me like
yeah, like I
any
would have
generic
preferred.
like.
I would have preferred that. I literally would have preferred that. Because like there are like literally glimpses of like
Oh my god.
even an attempt at like a shallow exploration of anything. Like there are a couple conversations between Akira and Yuugure where Yuugure is like, you know, questioning like her nature as an android or as like a machine of war basically, and she's like, do you care? Like, does that bother you? And it's like it's obvious that it bothers Yuugure, but Akira as a character is kind of just like, I don't care. Like I don't care.
Yeah,
Like
I gotta find my fiance. I gotta
he's like,
fuck my non-blood related relative right now.
yeah, he's literally just like, yeah, I don't really care. Like I kind of want to just like find my fiance, and also like his response to her being um, like I'm a machine of war. Does that not bother you? He's like, well, I was like asleep for the war, so it's like it's not even real.
What?
I'm just like, dude,
True.
you've seen this girl mulch people, like turn them into literal blood pinatas. Like it's real. It is real. You've seen it. So for him to
cool
just
with
be
it.
like,
He was like he wasn't used to all the violence after he was shot anyway, so whatever.
yeah,
man.
it's just like, I don't know.
As
Yeah,
long as
it's
he's
just so.
as long as he doesn't get more holes in him, he's like, I'm cool. It's fine, bro.
Yeah, like this series is literally just more shallow and vapid than even the most shallow of these like Android romance series, where it's like it literally
So is it
can't
better than
even.
Chopins?
Fuck no. Like it literally can't even be bothered to acknowledge like the main like theme that a lot of these series like have, where it's like the exploration of like does an AI or does an android or whatever
Right.
do they truly feel emotion?
It's just like actual
Like
love.
it literally can't even be bothered to acknowledge that. It's just it's so vapid. It's so nothing. And like literally
And
all
like
it
even
has
I think
is
even
to
if they
present.
didn't go into that, right, they would have had a good premise with what you just what we initially described, whereas like again the different forms of love, going deeper into the LC, going deeper into like, hey, these girls kind of because they're from the future or whatever, right? They're from different era of human civilization. They approach it differently. That would have been cool, like exploring that, even if it was just like two comparisons. Even if it was just previous Earth marriage versus Elsie. Now, that would have been pretty cool, but that's not what happened. It's just a wrong call.
Yeah, especially because like it initially sets up this Elsie as like it is like a very free form expression of love.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
like
yeah.
every single example they show immediately after that is just romantic monogamous parents.
It's just a rock call. Yeah, it's just a rock
Yeah,
call.
it's just like, well, wow, these two people fall in love with each other. But sometimes uh it's like a non-conventional kind of thing.
Sometimes they mention the word
Sometimes
Elsie.
Yeah, sometimes they're siblings, which is like I don't know why that was your first example of being
Yeah.
like a
Oh
non-conventional
my god.
parent. Like
Yeah.
let's immediately do siblings. It's
Yeah.
like okay, that could have worked if it was non-romantic, but you actively made the decision to turn
Uh-huh.
it into. It's so fucked up. It's so. And then the second one after that, I don't like. I don't really want to go into the onsen ones because like the entire crux of the mini arc for the onsen episodes are like, Yuugure wants to go on a date with Akira, and that's it. Like that's the whole mini arc, and it's like, okay, wow, we're spending multiple episodes on this. And there's like this minor thing in the background where like there are some secondary characters, and one of them is like she like works for the OWAL government, but actually she gives up her position because she's in love with a girl. Wow,
So is
that's
this
it.
like
That's it. It's
did
like
PA Works just like are we moving into the era where entire anime series are just clickbait now? Is that where we're going? Because Towa no Yugure honestly looked like one of those again, like a VN adaptation, right? One of those like not key like the more recent key animation like front wing
Yeah.
visual novel stuff like Island or Summer Pockets or whatever, where they're like the protagonist arrives on an island, and the island is 500 years after the apocalypse. And there he meets a single girl who says, "I love you," or whatever. And it's like it goes into like the mystery of the island or whatever the fuck, right? I
Yeah.
thought it would be something like that, but it's not even that. It's literally just it's nothing.
It really is just like nothingness.
Oh
So near.
god.
Let me ask: has the main character been injured in any way?
Yeah, he's been shot multiple times.
Like
Um,
after waking up in the future or whatever?
yeah, he gets shot by a sniper. Um,
How do we know he's not a robot?
so I'm pretty sure he's just like he was just in like a weird fucking like the Star Wars Kolto tank for like 200
Bacto
years.
tank?
Yeah, and they just like
Bacto tank? Yeah.
they just like didn't wake him up for some reason. Um, but yeah, I know. I don't know if this is supposed to be like a twist or something later on. I know he has AI. He has like an AI in his. He has like an AI chip in his brain because the episode
everything.
0, like the whole like project that the fiance is working on is like it is literally like the Elon fucking Grok chip, brain chip.
Wait,
Okay.
is this like X-Arm all over again with the main character?
I probably not, man.
Are
But
you sure?
yeah. But he definitely has that because in episode 1, when he meets like the first like tribe or whatever, they are very clearly not speaking Japanese. But it like
Oh,
slowly,
oh yeah, but it's the
slowly,
Oh
Babelfish,
yeah,
yeah.
Universal
yeah, it like
Translator.
slowly
Love those.
transitions into Japanese. So it's
Uh-huh,
obvious that
uh-huh.
he has like some sort of universal translator.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Has
In
has
it,
has
which
he
is
gotten the common cold yet? Here, don't you know the common cold is deadly
no,
for the future?
no,
Remember that one episode of Futurama?
yeah, but yeah, I don't know if that's supposed to be like the big twist. Is that like he's an AI or like another twist that I see a mile away, because they fucking they make it pretty obvious is that like Yuugure herself, like her like personality and memories are very obviously um Towa's AI assistant that she
Yes,
speaks
yes,
to in
yes.
episode 0. It's so obvious. It's so fucking obvious.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's supposed to be like one of the big twists or not, but
What
It's-
the main issue I see here, I mean, amongst the other issues, of course, but it's like you mentioned all these twists, and they obviously could happen. Like they're very standard twists, and
Yeah.
we neither of us were born yesterday, and that's all cool. But to me, it's like the issue is none of these twists really matter.
They
Is
don't
what
really
I'm
do
saying. It's like
yeah,
it
they don't
doesn't
really do
it
anything.
doesn't like emotionally affect me because I'm still in the mode of like, oh, this is a rom-com. So it's like when something happens, right? And it's like, oh, this was the AI assisted all along, or Grok chip or whatever, right? It's like it's the same as if there's like a slightly more serious development, like some sort of slightly dramatic portion in like Tolovru, right? You're just like, yes, but also I don't really care, and I
mean,
also know that it's probably gonna get resolved.
You forget the fact that not only is it a rom com, but it's a rom com with the absolute fucking over the top melodrama of a
Yeah,
PA
yeah.
Works series. So, like, yeah.
So stupid. Oh my
Yeah.
god, I can't believe PA Works fucked the bed this hard
so
again.
Near, how
God
strong
damn.
is the robot?
She's like Battle Angelita, strong.
Yeah, she's like literally. It's like so far she's literally invincible. The only
Yeah.
threat is the other androids.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like-
so can she beat
It's like Terminator.
Yeah.
can she beat a saber marionette? Let's go there.
Probably, man. She has like she's literally melted a mountain. Like, so
Hmm.
you know.
Can she beat?
she's-
Okay, can she
she's
beat
pretty
the
strong.
greatest AI? Can she beat Skynet? Or not?
Probably, yeah.
Not
Probably.
Skynet. Can she beat 01? Or sorry,
I don't know, man.
02.
Can they survive a nuke? Like,
Yes.
because she
Oh,
can kind of
the
just do
original
that.
Kamen Rider can survive a nuke, and everyone scales to him.
Yeah, I mean, she can kind of
I-
just do that at will. So,
Yeah. But
Um,
anyways,
but yeah, the last thing I wanted to comment on in terms of like story, and this isn't really like a big deal, but to me, this kind of was like the first, not really the first, but it was kind of like the kind of most apparent, like really bad taste in my mouth is. So this is Japan, right?
right.
We are in Japan, 200 years in the future, right? And like the concept of like Japanese as a language being wiped out is already kind of silly, right? Like
I
200
mean,
years, 200 years
well,
isn't
maybe not in
really,
200 years, but possible.
Yeah.
Remember, near the universal Earth language is English.
yeah, but like a culture doesn't really get wiped out just because there's a war, right? Even if it's a really big war, but that's not really the point I'm making. The real like a gripe I have is like the tribe, the first tribe he meets, and I call it a tribe because they're the only settlement like this where they're very clearly depicted as like a tribal people that like don't really have access to like any sort of technology or infrastructure or anything. They're all brown and they're all wearing like
Nice,
these
nice.
they're all wearing these like colorful like parkas and stuff.
Oh yeah. That one.
Yeah, and like I'm not really trying to like be woke or anything here, but like it's a very obvious like just kind of attempt to be like, oh well, they're like different. They're like not Japanese, right? So we're gonna make them
They're
brown.
animals.
We're gonna make them brown, and they're gonna live in like tents, and they're gonna trade in like linens and stuff.
It's like
It's
that.
okay,
It's like the
you know-
same. It's like only slightly less offensive than again. It's like Eiyu Senki, the visual
yeah, the
novel
fucking
slash like title
dark
thing.
continent.
The dark zone, the dark continent, and it's just
Yeah.
Africa. And
Yeah,
it's like shadow
and it's
walkers,
like-
like Nethermen,
it's like-
Endermen, walking around.
like that. I'd be, a little bit accepting of that. I'd be a little bit accepting of that if they didn't immediately leave that like tribe settlement and immediately go into like, Victorian London.
Near.
Where like it's
What
very
if
obvious that like
there's-
there are still cars, there's very much still infrastructure. There are
God damn it.
trains, they're running trains. So I don't understand why the first like impression of like the post-apocalyptic Japan was a bunch of brown people wearing fucking parkas.
Tribal,
near,
tribal shit.
they're just what is it? They're just the indigenous Ainu people of Japan.
Yeah.
Just
I
like
don't-
They're
what was-
their
that
casino
one
is
series?
downstairs near or down the block near. You just don't understand.
What's that
Yeah.
series with the gold map and the chick and the really bad CGI bear? They're
Golden
Ainu, aren't
Kamuy?
they? Yeah, Golden Kamuy. They're just from Golden
Yeah.
Kamuy near.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was kind of just like the last thing I wanted to comment on, just because it was kind of gross. It was kind of gross, in my opinion. But
So is it better than a Gargantia?
no, definitely not.
Gargantia was like tolerable to watch until
Yeah,
the
Gargantia
end.
was like okay. It was
Yeah.
like watchable.
the if you
um,
cut out the ending, I think Gargantia is like okay, like fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess on audio visuals, I'll comment on really
Mhm.
quickly. It's PA Works. It looks pretty nice. The colors are quite nice, I will say. The general palette is pretty solid. The action sequences are pretty good. They're not really choreographed all that well, but I mean, it is kind of mostly just Yuugure jumping around and killing people.
Mhm.
I guess it doesn't really need to be choreographed all that well. And again, it's not really like an action-heavy series. Action just kind of spontaneously happens for no real reason.
So
in
you're saying the
particular.
Sakugs are good?
Not really. They're like okay. But
What would you compare them to?
I don't know. Like it's kind of hard to compare them to anything because, like I said, the gore in this series is very like it's very like 2010. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where,
Explicit.
like
It's
yeah,
very
where like
explicit.
the guys like get cut up into like giblets and they explode in blood. Like it's very another. I'll say.
Oh, okay. So
Or Blood Sea? Blood
I see.
yes?
I mean, Blood Sea was. Blood Sea didn't look very good. I'll say.
Yeah, that's the major
But
issue.
But yeah, the
Okay.
visuals are pretty solid.
Can we before you go on to the audio part of the general anime? Can we talk about the character designs? Is there something that you want to tell us about?
No.
It's like I kept I kept mistaking this. I think Toast also did as well. It's like the eyes and stuff like that, and the facial proportion, the
They look
ratios.
just like Yaiba.
Yaiba or Conan, kind of, and it was like I also asked, like, is the character designer for one of the Conan guys? What's happening? And apparently it
Yeah.
wasn't, but it's very like weird.
Yeah, apparently it's some mangaka. Midori Tariyama. They've done a few stuff or a couple manga.
Mhm.
It seems like this is like their main. I guess their first like original character design for an anime series.
Right.
It seems like one of their manga is like greenlit for an anime adaptation as well.
Okay.
Too sure.
Mhm.
But yeah, they have a very their style is pretty. It definitely has like notes of the sort of Conan style where like the eyes are very similar. The I guess the kind of like shape of the head, the fairly large
Mhm.
forehead as well, and the sort of long, slender limbs are pretty similar to something that you might see in Conan. But yeah, it definitely has that sort of vibe to it. It is pretty distinct, I think, and I think it works pretty well. this series. Although what I will say is the like the androids in this series, like the cast of androids are like they all look like Towa, which is like I get kind of like the idea behind it,
Right.
but in the OP they present like there's at least like 9 of them, right?
9 different tosses.
And I feel like if you're gonna make that many different androids, like it probably would have been a better idea to make them look like, a bit more unique as opposed to just
At
all
least put
having,
like a name tag on them instead of having
yeah, like all
a
having the
Misaka.
same face, and like they all have the same face and just like different hairstyles and different outfits.
Even the Misakas had like the different the one had like the head goggles and the other one had whatever something like
Yeah.
that, right? So
I mean they
A
are
lot of
pretty
them
distinct. Like
look the same. They
Yuugure
kind of
is
do different expressions.
Yuugure is blonde, and the samurai one has black hair with like a big ponytail.
Yeah.
And there's like a nun one as well, but it's like, it's just it feels oddly limiting, be like, yeah, they'll look the same. Okay, sure. But yeah, as for the music is pretty bog standard as you'd expect for one of these kind of, um,
Unfortunate.
it's like it's kind of like a soft fantasy style, vibe. It's pretty standard. It's not like bad or anything, but
A lot of like pizzicato strings, plucking strings, stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Some horns here and there, but
Uh-huh.
the OP is Platform by Udu. It's kind of boring. I'll say it's kind of boring.
What about the storyboarding? The
The
storyboarding also
visuals,
boring?
yeah, the visuals are pretty standard. A lot of kind of characters running around, standing still, posing, etc.
Okay.
The ED, however, is Two of Us by Hannah Hope.
Just the two of us. I know that song.
Yeah, and I like Hannah Hope. I like her voice quite a bit. And I think this ED is actually really good. It's got a pretty nice storyboard. It focuses on Amoru specifically, like her character. Sort of like flashbacks to her family, her drawing, stuff like that. And it is very kind of focused on her, like as a, kind of like just her backstory, stuff like that. It's cute. The song is really nice. Visuals are really nice. There's a lot of nice digital effects for stuff like the sunlight bouncing off of water and stuff like that. And yeah, it's a nice ED. I'd say it's probably the best thing of the show. Actually, I'd say it's definitely the best thing of the show. It's absolutely the best thing of the show. So plus bonus there. Yeah, the audio visuals are pretty solid. I mean, PA Works, they don't usually stumble in terms of the audiovisual department.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So they definitely.
It's just like they're picking the right material that they usually.
Yeah. The audiovisual solid. I think the only other I think staff that's kind of worth noting here is the director and series composition is Naokatsu Suda. And he, if you don't know, is the director behind pretty much every single part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh yeah, name 3.
Part 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5. That's the ones he did. So, I don't really know what happened here, to be honest. Because it's not like he's not talented, right? And there's definitely money behind this. So it's very likely other talent behind this that I didn't really look too much into because I kind of didn't really give that much of a fuck about this series. But he's definitely a noteworthy one among the staff. So yeah, yeah. I don't really. I don't really know what else there is to say about this other than I fucking hate it. I fucking do not like it. Not
I
good.
guess any kind of last words that you would you would want
Yeah.
to make about this?
Would
mean-
would you the android girl near?
Probably yeah. She's cute.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I guess last thing to comment on, I guess, is the voice cast. In that, so I found it a little bit odd to. So they're doing the whole thing where Yuugure looks like Towa, right? But she's not. So Towa is voiced by Kayona Ai. But Yuugure is voiced by Ishikawa Yui, right?
Okay.
And all of the other androids are voiced by different voice actors.
So
Samurai-
that's like how you sort of tell them apart. Is that
I
how that
guess,
works?
but like the samurai one is voiced by Miyuki Sawashiro. The nun one's
Oh,
voiced
okay.
by Tomari Kusunoki. Um, you know, but to me, I think like the other androids being voiced by different voice actors is fine. But to me, if you're gonna play on the whole thing where it's like Yuugure looks like Towa, who is the
I see.
fiance, I think if you
Yes.
really wanted to play on that, she would
Mhm.
sound the same too. No,
Right.
but they sound completely different. And it kind of because this series does flashbacks, right? It does
Right.
common flashbacks, and so it kind of like it kind of makes them like very distinct. Like they're not.
It sort of lessens the impact that the flashback would have on Akira looking at the present Yuukure is sort of what
Yeah,
you're saying.
yeah.
Yes.
Like I
yes.
feel if Yuugure
Mhm.
looked and sounded the same, it would kind
Mhm.
of have more of like a more persistent pull as it
Uh-huh.
kind of bounces between like the current moment and the flashback, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, a bit of an odd casting decision, in my opinion. But everybody does their jobs pretty well.
Mhm.
Ishikawa Yuri actually is doing like the not to be voice here. Like she's not just doing to be's voice the millionth time. She's actually doing a bit more of a. She's a bit more of energetic here, which is nice to hear.
She's slowly racking up a collection of like just doing android like roles now.
Yeah, but I think the fact that she didn't just do like the cool, calm, collected voice.
Yeah,
here is a
exactly.
nice touch.
For sure.
Yeah, she's a bit more outgoing and energetic here, a bit more playful,
Mhm.
which is nice. But yeah, the voice cast is quite good overall.
Oh.
Unfortunately, it's just tied to a terrible story. But what can
Yeah.
you do?
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise, I'm just kind of like, I just think it's kind of funny that I'm looking at the mall review like breakdown, I guess, of like recommended and not recommended. And I'll just post this little bar DM, which I find it kind of funny. But
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah.
Whoa there.
yeah. But yeah, as for that, I guess I'll wrap it up, give it a rating. It's currently sitting at 6.78 on Mall, which
That's
I
a good
will
score.
yeah, I will note is higher than Kimikoi, which I reviewed last episode, which I had much higher praises for.
Uh-huh.
But
So that means you're wrong there.
that's Mal for you.
It's because unlike Kimikoe, this one is sad. It has sad themes like people
Yeah,
getting chopped up
and I
by
think
androids
it's
or cyborgs.
also like I did peep a couple of the forum discussions for the episode discussions on Mall, and I do think it's like an ever like a constant truth of the world where you could have like the worst, most abysmal dog shit series known to man, but as long as it looks nice, people will say they love it.
If it looks nice and then it contains potentially sad themes,
yeah,
like
yeah,
the world is gone and I can't see my fiance anymore. Oh no! And then people will be like, "Wow,
wow.
this brings a tear to my eyes. Oh my god."
This is truly moving me. This is making me feel something. Must be good. But yeah, as for what I would give this, I'd give this probably a 1.5. And one of that 1.5 is coming pretty much purely from the visuals.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is dog shit. I think this is. I said it in the chat for podcast, but I think I can't really think of any other. Well, that's not true. But like, so I'll preface it like this: I can't really think of any other PA Works series that made me actively upset watching it from the get go.
Oh, okay.
Like from like basically episode 1. Because plenty of PA Works, there's been plenty of PA Works series where I've been kind of like on board with it up until like, because the standard PA Works formula is like do something decently, and then episode 9 comes around, and then you either either stick the landing or you shit your pants.
That or the entire series is just mediocre. Not bad, but like just like boring
Yeah,
and
it's
like
just
there's
like
no
okay,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But this one's just like bad. This one's just like, bad, like actively not good.
Yeah.
Is it
So-
It's also
better than
disappointing. It's disappointing, right? Because it's like there
Yeah,
could
for
have
sure.
been good places it went.
For
but
sure,
they-
yeah, because there are like there are inklings of like an idea here where it's like that you could have had something there, like you could
Yeah.
have done something, but it's just like they kind of present it, and they're just like, all right, we're just gonna ruin this. We're gonna fuck with this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, I hate the show. I think it sucks. Yeah.
What rating would you give it?
I give it a 1.5.
We just said 1.5.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So
Um, yeah.
actually, Nier isn't 1.5 greater than a One Punch Man score at IMDb?
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. IMDb rates like fucking everything lowly. Like you could have like a really good movie and it's rated like a 6 on IMDb. So
My question is near, and this is the most important question. On a scale of, I think I asked you this before the podcast, but on a scale of glass lips to Kanan
Yeah.
/ Angel Beats, where does this lie on the PA work scale here?
yeah, so I think when you asked me that, I was like halfway through episode 3. And I said it was pretty close to Glasslip. I would actively put this below Glasslip.
It starts digging the ground below the scale.
Yeah, like I feel like this could very well be like the worst thing that PA Works has ever put out.
Oh my god.
It's really
So
bad.
unfortunate.
Like
Yeah.
it's not good. So
All right. Well, thank you very much to sorry, Nier.
You're
excuse
welcome.
me. My brain is going haywire right now, so I apologize. Nier for helping to cover Towa no Yuugure, also known as Dusk Beyond the End of the World, also known as Twilight of Eternity, which I think is honestly a better localized title. But this is a manga adaptation adapted by PA Works.
this is original.
Wait,
This is original,
yeah,
bro.
I was gonna say, isn't this
Really?
original? Yeah.
Oh, the manga came after, or it's a multimedia project? What's happening? with
I
this?
guess probably.
What the manga came after the. Oh, yeah. The manga came after the
It's
anime,
probably a simul
and it's
release.
it's like a weird multimedia project going on right now. They're probably gonna release a mobile game in like a couple of weeks. Don't worry about it. But it is an anime original, run by the P Works team. Obviously, previously they did the Mikadono sisters, I think, and then before that they did a spy. I want to say not Spy Classroom.
Spy Family.
No, not Spy Family. but they did a couple of things before this that were not that great. But we were willing to give them the how do I say this? The benefit of the doubt, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. What's the greatest anime they've ever made? Also, by the way, I hate True Tears.
Misaka Iroha?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Nier would probably say Angel Beats. I would probably say either Angel Beats
You
or
just said
Hanasaki Iroha.
Hanasaki Iroha.
Yeah.
I mean,
Are you
personally,
sure?
I like Angel Beats more, but like in
Yeah,
terms
yeah,
of
yeah.
like objective, like
Completeness, yeah.
yeah, I'd probably say
Um,
Hanasakura is their
What
best.
about Umi Mamasumi here?
The original Umima Musumi anime.
I
Yeah,
feel
where
like
they
they
were
I
two
feel like they
buddy
kind
buddy
of
with Silent Suzuka,
I feel like
and
they kind of
Yeah.
phoned the Uma Musume anime in.
they
Yeah,
but
but the thing is, it's like after they did, a couple seasons back, because they did this like they had a decent streak from Aquatope, right? Where they had Kongming, Pari Picome, they had Akiba Meiwar, which was decent. They had Buddy Daddies, Skip a little for
didn't
Sakuna, and like
didn't you
Nada
not
Nada
like
was kind of whatever.
didn't you not like what is it? Akeba
Akiba
Maibor?
Meiwar.
Yeah, you
Well,
covered it, right?
I sort of came around to it. I didn't like it initially, but I took your perspective to heart, right? And then I was like, I guess that makes sense from that perspective, right? So I wasn't like super against what you said when you were like, oh, like Akiba Made War is good from this perspective. But like they had a decent streak, right? From Paripikome all the way to Mayanaka Punch. But then
Yeah.
like recently they've done like Hibi Meshi wasn't that good. The Mikado no Sisters was iffy. Now this, and it's like like what do you guys do? And they also don't really have any ground to stand on. They don't have that, what is it, the Sayonara Zetsubo like meme thing of like it's an homage. It's an homage. Don't blame me. They don't have that excuse because pretty much like most of these are original works. So it's like you can't say anything. You can't say shit, guys. So very very unfortunate, I think. I don't know. I don't know what it is they're trying to cook up over at PA Works, but they need to get out of the kitchen here.